Last time on the North Bay Apprentice.
You're the project manager, you've got the experience, and there's one more thing that you all don't know, by the way, about Dean. Rita and Dean are engaged to each other. And he had an inside track on, he lives with Bo, so he knows everything about her business. Wow. So, why would you choose to give that up to Chris? When you've got the marketing experience, you've got the background. All I can say is I think that you're going to do really great things. I think, I believe in the business that you're doing. But I think you made a few huge mistakes here today, and I'm really sorry, but I've got to say, Dean, you're fucked. Go. That's okay. So far, how's Cafe Botanica doing?
Well, it's doing really good, thanks. We've been in business for 7 years now, and things have just getting a little busier every year. It's been really good for us.
Good stuff. Well, I think this is going to be a really fun day for you, and I think you're going to see that we're going to make you a lot of money today.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Good.
Should be great.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 4 of your 10-week entrepreneurship training. Future vision, you'll notice that Dean was fired in the last boardroom. What you may not be aware of is that Dean and Rita are actually engaged to be married. So it's a little ironic that last week she won the award and he got sent home. Now, last week we talked about the importance of marketing to every small business. There are several components to marketing: advertising, branding, and positioning, among others. But one of the most critical and often neglected elements is direct sales. We're here at the North Bay Mall, where today you will be selling coffee for Cafe Botanica. Beside me is Cafe Botanica's owner, Clark Smiley. Clark, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your business, please?
I grew up in North Bay, just right across the street. Really liked the town. We started the business 7 years ago because my wife already worked there, and we bought it from the previous owner. And we love doing it. It's great.
So here are the rules of today's task. Each of you will be given a list of Cafe Botanica's 6 specialty coffees and a current price list. You will have the freedom to set your own prices on those coffees only. You may opt to set your prices lower and sell volume, or higher and make more profit on each coffee. Of course, you can also keep prices the same. You may also use sales techniques such as upselling, suggestive selling, and free offers. You may also haggle and make deals if you wish. You are not restricted to selling just coffee. Your team's strategy may be to sell higher priced items or gift baskets, for example. But remember, the more time you spend developing your strategy, the less time you have to sell. You are also not restricted to selling only within the North Bay Mall. So get creative and sell as much coffee as you can. You will each start with a $10 float to make change. You will go out and take coffee orders. You will come back here and turn your money in to my wife and assistant, Suzanne. each time keeping your $10 float. Then you will fill your orders and head out again to sell more coffee. You'll have 1.5 hours to complete the task. The team that brings back the most money wins. Remember, it's not how many sales, but how much profit you make that counts. Kim and Penny will be my eyes and ears as always. The person who brings in the most money, whether on the winning team or the losing team, will be interviewed with me on the Fox by Kenny Brewster. And the losing team will meet me in the boardroom where somebody will be fired. So do a great job and sell lots of coffee. Get going.
Okay, so how about we start at 12:30? I'll do it. I'm in. No, but we'll get angry and stuff. What, you want me to try being and you too, and then we'll let you do it? Yeah. So we'll do it angry? Okay. Okay. Yeah, but I want. Me? She's gonna coffee, and I want it.
I drink a lot of coffee.
No. Well, it's gonna come to Melissa. Let's go. I'm just kidding. I'll concede to you.
Thank you.
Like what we could do is we could drop the price on the actual coffee, but we could actually also keep maybe biscuits or something at the same price, right? Like, it's all about gauging what we have. So once we see the menu, we'll go from there.
So you're going to go ahead and be the project manager on this task there, Chris, if you want it?
I suppose. I greatly accept.
All right, we'll help you lead the way here.
No worries. We'll do good, guys.
So,
Lead strategy.
where can we go?
Well, we can do anything, anywhere.
Too bad the cinema's out right now.
There's 3 of us now. We only have a float of $10. That means
No,
have to
we
stick
each have a
together.
float.
Oh, we each have a float of $10?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was a team float.
I thought it was a team flow too.
Because I was to say, if it's a team float, it's $10
Then that'll
to start
change
with,
things.
then we have to stick together at the beginning, and then we can split.
Once we get more float.
exactly.
Okay. So,
So we have to-
regardless, yeah.
Okay, but first we do need a menu. We need to see these prices.
nobody in this mall.
Let's go.
Where can we go,
Where's
guys?
this place?
So many. What would be great that we know.
Where's this place? No. All right, let's go.
Yeah, he does. Some of them. So is it a $10 float for each of us or $10 for the team? Okay. That'll work. And
So it is 10 for each. All right. So that's good. We could
now we can
kind of split up a bit, right?
I like that.
However, we can't split up too far where we don't lose contact with each other because
We should have a meet up.
You have cell phones?
no, I don't have cell phones. But you-
Meet up every 15 minutes or something like that.
yeah,
Bring your flow.
Guys, I got an idea. What if we what if we go into businesses? Am I allowed to take off my car?
I reckon that would not be a good idea.
You have to deliver. You have to deliver copies. Remember?
Deliver the coffee.
But if you plan on delivering some of these items up on the board, then yeah. However, don't finish
Let's make it worth our
we're
while.
committed though. Yeah.
15 minutes. Businesses around this area are pretty small.
Over on the back.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I guess. But what are they gonna do? Where are they?
Hey, don't worry about them. Just don't worry about.
No, let's not.
No, we're worrying about us. What? Think about us.
Okay, you can
Shoppers Postmates, Blockbuster. They usually have two people or something like that working there.
There's car wash.
Yeah.
Right there.
You can check Valley Village.
Yeah.
That's not that far. Run into Valley Village, see if the copyright or even Teletech.
I forgot my Flippy.
Teletech.
I don't have my Flippy. But I can call. Okay.
Call and let them know what's going on. Like do a huge coffee run again. Teletech, Shoppers, Blockbuster.
Let's set a price. All right. Let's be on this.
It's not about that.
What do we
It's not about itself. It's not about itself. It's about the product.
well, what do we kind of do? Do we want to just split up and break it up, or do we want?
Well, I think it's best.
We have to meet back every so often.
That's a good
just
idea.
to,
Like 20 minutes.
You realize that you have to.
but we also have to deliver our orders. Once we get our orders, we have to come back here then deliver
We
our
have to
orders.
make-
So we
so
might
we
not
wanna-
all be here at the same time.
You can also so 20-minute like radius. So like go about or 10-minute radius. You go about 10 minutes, so you get 10 minutes to get back.
Yep.
Cover all that ground.
You're gonna get a lot of crap out of that car.
So you think it's okay if I take off?
I wouldn't.
He's project manager.
Myself personally, I wouldn't. Because I mean, that just speaks too much liability.
Okay, so if she's getting that plaza, what do you want me to get?
What do you want for that?
Do you want all the parking lot quick one as well?
I think we hit more. Yeah, I think we hit more if we split up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we can split up. And when we get to the plaza, there's like Valley's Edge, there's a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
Halifax, a lot of people in there. So
Okay,
right
so
there.
we all hit the plaza at the same time?
Yeah, and then we'll just kind of go, our own way in the plaza, so we can cover more ground.
Okay.
Because if it's just one person, you're wasting a lot of time because somebody else will get the other section.
Okay.
Because then it's also going to take me a long time. Yeah.
You might want to do is have one person go, do that, take the orders, and call it in.
So we're having staying around here then?
I think we're going to do all first. And then we'll go.
Okay. All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he said he's going to get a couple.
What do you think? Tell me what you think.
I'm trying to think of like where we get a mass of people really quickly.
Mass of people? Well, I'll think for a second. Let's. Here. You can hit winners. You can hit winners. They're pretty big. Let's see what else.
This guy's starting to pretty tough, so I'm going.
Usually I buy a coffee, but yeah, if you wouldn't have asked me, I probably wouldn't have bought it. Usually if you're approached, you're more apt to buy something. So.
be pushy. Why aren't you pushy?
Okay, my car's right over there.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know why it's not starting.
We're gonna have to change cars.
Car won't start. Don't know why, but we're gonna take Laura's car, which is right here, so it's perfect.
Yeah. Get out of my way.
So how do you think it's going, Kim?
I think it's going pretty good. And I think the Northern Gateway Inc. is doing fairly well.
And that's because they're constantly around here ordering coffee, and you just see them running, and the sweat's pouring right off them.
Especially Sean. Sean's like, jumping over puddles and hurdling, the benches and whatnot. And, hey, how are you? And can I get you coffee? And can I, break the milk out of the napkin? And I like it. It's good. Good customer
He's giving that
Yeah.
exemplary customer service.
Yes.
Well, I was wondering where the girls had been and where Tori had been, because I hadn't seen their team in the longest time.
Agreed. And one of yours will be up to break.
Give them what they want. I have good news and I have bad news.
Oh.
Your butter,
We have coffee, but we have the wrong coffees.
just the one of them,
Just one.
Okay.
which is yours.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the switch, and we'll come back and give you yours because we have it.
Well, what do you have?
Here we got.
We have to do 2 Colombians.
We're missing the butter pecan coffee.
Yeah. We have to keep both large Colombians and a medium Colombian.
Okay, so we're gonna take full Colombian.
Yeah, we have a small Colombian, which is stained.
That's the
That's the
decaf.
one.
That's the decaf.
So we all have to-
It's perfect.
Yes, you want the decaf.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that.
No
We'll go
problem.
back.
Come back and we'll do a switch for you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Apparently, they've been calling their orders in.
Really?
So it'd be interesting to see the results, because perhaps what we're not seeing is turned out to be a successful strategy.
Well, it's definitely thinking outside of the box. They've been calling in their orders because then they're accessing more customers outside of the mall.
Hi Sandra, it's Rita. How are you? Good. One of the coffees that we dropped off, it's a butter pecan one. Don't let anybody touch it. We're bringing the right one there. We just got it mixed up. Okay. But we're on our way there. Okay, bye.
The customers in the mall are just stopping dead in their tracks and saying, what's going on here? And now the buzz is getting around the mall. Oh, there's a TV show being filmed, and these guys are on a challenge. So I think that if I was on their teams, that's one of the first things that I'd really play up when I was approaching an office or a few employees. I'd say, hey, we're from the North Bay Apprentice, and we've got a challenge in your mall, and we're slinging coffee today. So would you like to support us and buy a coffee? But I really haven't heard any of them talking about the show.
We owe you money.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I covered our asses.
Yeah.
Did you?
We had, it was
We had
about
over-
10 minutes ago that we had 3 minutes to get our money in. And you guys were gone.
They're quite entertained. They seem to be really excited and enthusiastic about all of it. However, so like Corey doesn't pass us by. I do have to say that I find him to be very busy. So yes, doing delivery calls and whatnot. That's some critical thinking.
Well, I guess within about the next 30 minutes, we'll have some results.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cheers.
I'm exhausted completely. That was hard.
My team worked really hard. I'm proud of them. Other than that, really, I can't say it was pretty good. I'm surprised that we did as much as we did. Kudos to Cafe Botanica for letting us come in.
A lot of running around, a lot of exercising, but we all came together, which is really good. Sales-wise, everybody was really impressed that we were willing to go there and deliver the coffee, so I think we did an amazing job.
I actually had lots of fun today. It was a little, lots of running, that's for sure. It's a good thing I wore my runners. A little tired. It was kind of stressful trying to get in enough sales so that your team wins, and it was lots of fun though, and I had a blast. I'd do it again, no time.
Yeah, I think we did pretty good today. We were out and about the town a little bit. I think it's going to be a pretty close race between us and Northern Gateway. I'm going to cross my fingers and say we're going to be on top.
Oh, hey, it's you! And I assume you want to know all about the challenge today. Well, the challenge was a blast. People were loving it. You go down the mall and you could shake up somebody's world in like half a second. Hey, you want coffee? Even if you don't want coffee, suddenly they want coffee. That was the deal today. And they knew what was going on. The North Bay Apprentice, they were all excited about that. So that's what we did today. We raised awareness and we had a blast. So you want to go to Google video, type in the North Bay Apprentice, and you'll find us working our stuff out in the halls of the malls, just for you, your entertainment, at home. Feel free to sit back and relax, and have a coffee. I love Sudoku. My next challenge would be the Sudoku puzzle.
Unfortunately, now we won't plan out till tomorrow. Just came in. We're all there.
Hello, everyone.
Good day.
Mr. Reynolds. Good day. First, I want to congratulate everybody on a great task yesterday. They all worked really hard. It was probably pretty difficult. A lot of you were probably in a sales role like that for the very first time, so how was it?
Difficult but fun at the same time. Very interesting.
Who do you think was having the most fun? Who appeared to be having the most fun?
Sean.
I think he was having a lot of fun.
I heard you say it a few times, actually. Having a lot of fun. Who do you think had the most difficulty?
I don't know, I was having a little bit of troubles with approaching people and stuff like that. I did, most of my sales that I did get were people that I knew and big quantity sales. I had trouble with a couple of small sales and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you for your honesty. Chris, I have a question for you, because you were the project manager for your team.
Yes, I was.
First of all, how do you think your team did?
Oh, freaking amazing. Sorry. We did really well. We all worked as a team. Sean was just crazy out there. He was doing, I love the way, if I can say this.
Yep.
I love the way that you were performing for some of your customers. That was cool. I like that. And he was just approach customers, like approach people and say, you really want this kind of tea.
What was your sales strategy for your team or individually as far as, were you just going out and trying to sell as much coffee as possible? Did you try to sell other larger items?
We decided to do things individually.
Okay.
That's what I found. It worked. It worked wonders. Dave did awesome. Sean, again, like I said, he did pretty good too. Myself, I was just making sure everything was copacetic. So I was getting out there and doing things, but I was doing different things.
Corey, you were the project manager for your team?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Corey was the project manager. Okay, well, so how do you think your team did?
I think our team did great. We realized that we always have to have a person on the side. We lost a little time because we had to do some traveling. But I think we got a lot of orders now.
Whose idea was to go travel?
We discussed it before in the strategy session, and we decided that we best, tap out the mall and then go outside as quickly as we can and split up and become as mature as possible.
David, I had a few comments for you. By the way, one of the things that I like that I heard is that you included your tips. Did anybody else do that, by the way?
Yeah.
People receive tips, and you put that in. That shows you're a team player. You didn't put it in your pocket, which was your own prerogative. But to include it in the team to help you win, I think that was a good strategy. I've heard from other people that you were very professional, but maybe a little bit too serious and unapproachable at times. I think maybe you need to just have a little bit more fun.
I had fun with some of the female customers.
Tell us about that.
My first place was the Rogers Cell place, and there was 2 female co-workers working. And I basically just approached them, and I just had a big smile on my face. And I introduced myself first. My name was Dave, and I was informed of where I came from, which was Cafe Botanica. I may have been serious a couple of times, but my main focus was, let's get this task done, let's get it done right, and that's when.
I'm a little surprised that some people didn't use more things like upselling or free offers. Did anybody ever try to do a buy one, get one free coffee? Or if they asked for a medium, did you ever say, well, a large is only just 10 cents more? Something like that. Anybody try that?
I did that. I tried to get, actually it was a guy from work, I tried to get him, he just wanted a small. I tried to get him all the way up to a large, but I settled with getting him up to a medium.
Okay.
There was one time where there was a little bit of confusion at the actual store. And when I was taking my product over to where I was going, which was pretty much my last sale, I said, listen, this is what we'll do for you. Because of the lateness of this, I'll drop it down from the actual price of $410. I'll drop it down to $360 for you. I was actually going to pay for that difference with my tips.
Okay.
So to augment that, so he didn't suffer, I suffered, because it was my fault that happened.
As I understand, you came back with your money a little bit too late, and it actually didn't count. Sean had to put in some money for you.
Chris, were out trying to bring.
I got mine and I did.
And that happened with Corey. And,
Yeah, they were.
I had another question for you, David. I noticed at one point towards the end you were a little bit angry with Corey. I think when you found out that you went out to sell your roommates.
Yeah,
you have 7 roommates or something.
Yeah, I sent people to my house. People that I knew, because I knew that was my strength. That I could sell to my friends really easily. Come on, help me out,
And that's commendable. I just wondered why you had a problem.
I had some time to think about it, and he did a smart thing. I think it was one step ahead there.
I wonder if you were mad.
You didn't think. No, it was the heat of the moment. I think you're right. I think I didn't think about it, but if I did think about it, I really don't have any friends that are in that vicinity. I took a bit of a risk. When you said I had tips, and there's a reason why I have those tips, and I took a bit of a risk, and I think it paid off. Was I actually raised prices instead of keeping them the same or keeping them lower. And the reason why I raised them is I was noticing that people were giving me, for a meeting it was $1.30. People were giving me $1.50. And they didn't ask for the change. So I was thinking to myself, okay, so I got 20 cents tip there. So then I started to get some other orders which was 2 or 3, and some of them were like large. So it was like, okay, $4.75. Not trying to go too far up of what the regular large coffee was, but when they get me like $4.80, $4.75, they only have a $5 bill, and they're like, just keep the change. So I'm like, there's another quarter, and I kept doing that, and I thought it was a great idea, just getting that little extra dime, quarter. And hey, not a lot of people want to carry change in their pockets. So.
Yep. No, I like that, and I didn't know you were doing that. That's excellent. Rita, was the issue with the time at the end where Corey had to cover for you? Was it for both Laura and Rita? And so I just wondered why you didn't keep track of the time a little bit better.
When you were telling me I had to get back, when we went out to give up the coffees, my car didn't start. So we lost about a minute or 2 right there, which is one of the reasons I take full responsibility for that. Like we were late, we were trying to make contact, cell phone lines, we're going to be a little late going on, we'll meet here and we'll all go together. The last place we went, we got the orders and we started going the coffees. So we wanted to be sure that we got the coffee while it was hot still. So we're like, we're going to be getting it late, let's just make the customer happy. Unfortunately, my car started.
A few comments for Sean. I heard there was a guy that went by with Tim Hortons coffee, and you approached him as well. And I like that because some people might look at that and say, well, number one, he's already got a coffee, so they just wouldn't approach him. But if I'm reading you right, you looked at him and said, well, he's obviously a coffee lover, and maybe he's just about done his, and maybe he wants another one. So I mean, you went after him. Basically, you asked every single person that went by. You didn't let anybody go by. But there was one issue that I wanted to ask you about. You put in $5 of your own money at one point. Just tell me, what does anybody think about that? Do they, does the other team have an objection to that? What if they won by $5 and it was his own money? How do you feel about that?
Well, if he just put the money in, I kind of don't agree. But if he bought something for $5, then that's his prerogative.
Okay. And is it any different from putting in your tip limit, which is essentially your money now, and you're offering to put in your own tips? So even though
I see the little difference, but I can.
So does anybody have a problem with the fact that you put in $5 of his own money?
Well, it wasn't in the rules at the beginning of the task that you couldn't do that, so it was an interesting strategy. Sometimes in business, you do what it takes to go, to get the win. From an ethical standpoint, I really don't think it was ethical because you've got 5 other team players playing by different rules. So, I think as a team, or as the ultimate person with the ultimate say in what happens, it's your decision to make whether it was right or wrong. But I think there's a little bit of unethical play there, if you ask me, and I would, if I was your opponent, I would really, I guess, I'd be a little bit cheesed off that you did that.
Was it your own money or was it tip money?
It was my own money.
Why would you do that? Other than to simply win?
Yeah, well, basically to win, yeah. I wasn't trying to be sneaky or anything. I just figured, I am putting, like you said, I am putting my own tips in. It's basically my money, and
I have to agree with Penny when she says that was unethical, especially when you go to the judge or the person receiving it.
Okay.
So,
just for my own personal opinion, I'll go on the record and say I'm not 100% sure that I think there was anything wrong with it. I said I don't want to come across here as a win-at-all-costs type of person, but you didn't trip one of your opponents and make them spill their coffee, or you didn't steal anything, you didn't hurt anybody. You actually sacrificed, you didn't steal money from the opposing team and put it in your own envelope. You sacrificed of yourself. And thought outside the box and did something more than what it took to win. And by the way, I know what the results are, and it didn't affect the outcome. Let's get to the results.
I have the results for Future Vision 8, and I'm happy to report the leader of the pack is Corey, bringing in $40.80. Congratulations. Second in Future Vision Inc. was Rita with $25, and in third place, Laura with $7.
We should mention that 2 of those dollars were American dollars, so you may have actually gotten $7.05.
Total team earned $72.80.
okay, so Northern Gateway Inc. Okay, Chris is in the lead, David is Sean. Sean, you are in the lead with $61.60. Then we have David with $25.55 and Chris with $19.46. In total, we have $106.61. So, congratulations.
Wow. Quite an upset. Sean, you having the most sales overall, will be joining me on an interview with Kenny Brewster on Fox. The time is yet undetermined. I will let you know, but we will be interviewed together, and you'll be able to promote your business a little bit. Thank you. You're welcome. What I'm going to do at this point is have everybody leave and wait out in the hallway. Everybody will stay. We'll be with you in a few minutes. Please wait.
Well, I really think that the whole team could have done a lot better. As I mentioned, they could have had better strategy. The only person that I really saw really shaking it was Sean. So I would definitely want him on my sales team. But I think that there was so much room for improvement from the whole team, from both teams, to be having a better business strategy, to be thinking more about separating and going out and maybe trying different things. If one of them was slinging coffee, then the other one could have been selling higher ticketed items. I didn't hear any referral type programs going on. I didn't hear any 2-for-1 deals going on. So I really feel that they all missed the boat. I think that Corey did well. Obviously his results show he sold $40 in coffee sales. Rita and Laura combined only sold 25. So I mean, I didn't see much of the girls at the mall. I thought that they were out doing their thing and calling in their sales, and I thought that maybe we'd be quite surprised by their amounts. But I can't see a whole lot of enthusiasm coming from Laura. I don't think that that her passion is really in this to be your apprentice.
Since the beginning of the show, Laura has not demonstrated any real passion, which is sad because she does produce a really nice product for being a jewelry maker and objects and whatnot. I've had the opportunity to speak with her. She knows what she's doing, but I guess it's either the prize is not good enough for her or the fire is just not there. I again agree about Corey. I view him to be a free thinker, definitely thinking outside of the box, very innovative, very first to jump on the scene and say, okay, this is what I'm doing. And you can follow me or you can do your own thing, but I got it. This is what I'm doing. However, even though Northern Gateway Inc. won, I do have a few comments about Chris. I happened to observe that he, at one point, came to a customer, and the customer said, okay, well, what do you have? And he was like, duh. He didn't know his product. He didn't know the price. He didn't educate the customer. Where on the other side, David did a resale, up the price a little bit, and if anybody had a question, I'm sure he would have been ready to explain. Whereas Chris was actually, presented with that, inquiry. Okay, well, would you give it to me for $1? No, I don't know. I'll be right back. Well, if I was a customer, I would wait. So, and also too, his lack of professionalism last week. It's just kind of started becoming a pattern now. So I don't know about his intentions.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. I just found it interesting that Laura and Chris, both the project managers of the teams, had the lowest sales.
I think Rita and I were together a lot of the time, and we were doing a lot of teamwork. Whereas one person was taking more, the other person was taking more. So I think it wasn't he that had $7 and she had 25. I think it was
Rita, one of the comments I have for you is just that I've noticed that if you look at the results, both you and David are kind of in the middle, and in my perception, that's what I've noticed is that you both always do quite well, but you never really rise above. You're just always kind of flying under the radar. I kind of make that assessment of both of you, and I would just say that I'd like to say in future I'd like to see you maybe just step up a little bit more. I know that in the last task, where you were the project manager, the feedback I got was that if somebody just walked into the room and didn't know any better, they'd think Corey was the project manager. And in fact, I thought Corey was the project manager on this task.
Very few rules that you were given. You were able to sell any product for a profit. And you chose coffee to sling coffee, and you had to, see so many people about cups of coffee to make such small profit. I wonder why nobody thought to look outside the coffee cup and maybe look at selling a bag of coffee beans that's $12.50 and perhaps marking that up $6 or $10.
Corey did sell it.
You did?
Espresso beans.
Oh, good. Okay, I didn't see that, but just in your business strategy when it comes to business. Sometimes less is more when you really think about the profit. I followed you, Corey, into a couple of stores, and the TD Bank was one of them. And I think if it had been me, I would have been really promoting the fact that I was part of North Bay Apprentice, because I think that it might have just put the customer at ease a little bit on why there was these frantic people running around the mall, jumping up and down, asking to do a coffee run. If you could have started out your spiels with, hey, we're from the North Bay Apprentice, and this is our task today, and this is a filmed show, and it's just like, you know, a reality show, that you might have had better buy-in. And it wasn't until Chris walked by with a tray of coffee that I tipped him off, and this was a great gift for you, Chris, because you ended up selling to myself and Kim and Randy and his wife, and he walked by with the coffee, and I went, oh, that smells so good, you know, oh, gee, I wish I had a coffee, and then he clued in that, oh, I could sell coffee, I don't have to run too far. So my lesson to all of you is, when it comes to sales and selling, you don't necessarily have to think so far away.
Very good point. A lot of businesses are always in search of new customers. They constantly advertise to get new customers, and they miss marketing to their existing customers who are already happy and satisfied. Make them good offers. The people who are already there hanging around and in the mall are already coffee buyers, so sell to them first. Future Vision Inc. Laura, if you were me, who would you fire?
Corey went over a lot before we even had those $15 for us. He also had price sales, so more than just the coffee. So part of the problem with travel time was the mix up in the coffee orders that we put in places. And while we were in the car, we had said a few times, the runner did go over to the place and ended up going to the wrong place. So
Rita, who would you fire?
I feel that I knew my strengths and my weaknesses, and I tried to play to my strengths as best as I could. We did, I feel, kind of communicate fairly well as a group. We had the cell phone and communicate back and forth.
Okay. Sorry to cut you off. Who would you fire?
Based solely on the fact that Laura was project manager, and so he rises.
I know that, Laura, you would probably say, some people talk about, I'm not a born salesperson. You probably would agree that you're not a born salesperson. I think I have a different opinion on that. I think everybody within them has their own things that they're enthusiastic about, and when they really want to do something, they can do it. So I don't really think, I think that's a little bit of an excuse as far as some people will say, I just can't sell anything. Well, I used to be painfully shy myself, and I would have been the first person to say that I couldn't sell anything. We talked about in another episode, not seeing the fire within you. We all see that Sean, having the most enthusiasm, did the best. That's what it comes down to in sales, is your enthusiasm, injecting your personality. Chris, I would have expected a lot more actually from you, because that's why I put you in charge of this task, knowing that you have that type of personality that people just love and feed off of. So I was surprised that your sales aren't higher. Laura, your performance in this task as the project manager was unfortunately not very good. And unfortunately, Laura, I have to say, you're fired.
Want to say something? I just want to thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome. I have one more thing. Chris, I think you demonstrated, again, as your project manager, having the lowest sales and being disorganized, and the past few episodes, your motive dress, and you just haven't seemed focused. You're not really taking this 100% seriously. And I have to say as well, Chris, you're fired. Okay, everybody out?
So, what do you guys think?
I think it needed to be done.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Well, I'm a little disappointed in losing, of course, but it was a great opportunity, and there's a lot of good people here, and it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to win.
Well, I'm at a loss for words. I thought that, maybe bringing a little bit of lightness, my personality into everything might show that I'm a true kind of player. I guess really this is an awesome opportunity for me. Again, I'm going to look to see who wins for the next. Obviously, I'm going to root for some people. Captain, go for it. Rita, you're good to go. See what happens. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody. Have a good one.